Solo Leveling Season 2 takes the action, stakes, and power scaling to a whole new level. Jinwoo Sung is no longer the weakest hunter. He's climbing the ranks at an unstoppable pace, gaining new abilities, expanding his shadow army, and facing off against terrifying enemies. From crushing S-rank dungeons to the intense Jeju Island raid, this season is packed with jaw-dropping battles and major revelations. Whether you're catching up or reliving the hype, this recap will break down everything you need to know before the next season drops. At a Guardian teacher conference for Jinna, Jinwoo is asked to convince truant Han Song-yi to return to school. She refuses to give up her life as a hunter. To convince her otherwise, Jinwoo gets Sangmin to allow them on a C-rank dungeon expedition led by A-rank Kim Chul, but the dungeon transforms and traps the hunters in a snowy wasteland. Chul abandons the lower-ranked hunters to fight the dungeon boss Baruka, only to have his party wiped out by him. Dong-soo arrives in Japan, seeking revenge on Jinwoo and Jin-ho for his brother's death. Outside the gate, Dong-soo and Baek Yun-ho nearly come to blows, but Dong-soo leaves after being convinced that Jinwoo is guaranteed to die in the dungeon. An unraveling Chul blames Jinwoo for his party's death and attacks him, leading Baruka to their location. Baruka notes that Jinwoo doesn't appear as human to him. Jinwoo uses his shadow army to distract Baruka's army, then kills Chul and resurrects him as Iron to kill Baruka, allowing the group to leave. Yunho confronts Jinwoo over the death of most of the party but is forced to back off. The experience convinces Song-yi to return to school. After being trapped in a gate for 10 years, Sung Il-hwan, Jinwoo's father, escapes and is extradited to Japan. He warns Dong-soo about an imminent threat, but when Dong-soo taunts him over his intent to kill Jinwoo, Il-hwan hospitalizes him and escapes custody. Jin-ho acquires his guild certification and convinces his father to let him run the company's guild under the condition that he convince Jinwoo to join. With his newfound strength, Jinwoo re-enters the S-rank dungeon and acquires 2 of the 3 materials needed for the potion. Jinwoo decides to get his rank reassessed so he can attempt higher-level dungeons. He is classified as the 10th S-rank hunter in South Korea. Consequently, he receives offers from various guilds as well as their overseeing agency, the Hunters Association, all of which he declines. In preparation to take on the S-rank dungeon's boss, Jinwoo considers selling one of his items to buy equipment, but he realizes that the item in question is too powerful for him to conceivably have as an E-rank hunter. To create a cover story, Jinwoo signs up on a mining crew sent to clean up an A-rank dungeon being handled by the Hunters Guild. During a lunch break, Jinwoo considers challenging the boss, but is confronted by S-rank hunter Cha Hae-in. At Hae-in's request, Jinwoo leaves. Hae-in notes that unlike other hunters, Jinwoo smells nice to her, piquing her interest. Jinwoo is invited to help the mining team on another dungeon, where he also agrees to be a porter for the expedition party and surreptitiously assists them in combat. However, their raid took a dangerous turn when the team was ambushed by a group of powerful high orcs. To make matters worse, the dungeon's entrance was mysteriously sealed, trapping the hunters inside. The situation escalated further when the captured hunters were taken to a massive underground chamber, teeming with thousands of formidable creatures, and the giant orc Kargalgan. High Orc Shaman Kargalgan was mercilessly toying with Sun Ki-hoon's Hunters Guild strike team. Kargalgan's overwhelming power had pushed the A-rank hunters to the brink of despair. In a dramatic intervention, Jinwoo arrived to aid the gravely injured Ki-hoon. In a moment that shattered his carefully constructed facade, Jinwoo openly summoned his shadow soldiers to confront the massive army of high orcs. Jinwoo kills Kargalgan and resurrects him as Tusk, while the Hunters Association swears the party to secrecy. Jinho asks Jinwoo to join the company guild. Meanwhile, famous actor Lee Min-sung awakens to hunter powers to much fanfare. Jinwoo arrives for his reassessment, overshadowing Min-sung's press conference to announce his hunter assessment. Baek Yoon-ho and Choi Jong-in try to recruit Jinwoo after he is officially designated as the 10th S-rank hunter in South Korea. Using his new status, Jinwoo sells items to purchase gear for the S-rank dungeon. Jinwoo sends his shadow army to fight the S-rank dungeon's beasts and must personally fight 4 knights similar to Igris. Elsewhere, Jinho's father becomes ill due to magic exposure, and a flying ant appears in South Korea. In the demon's castle, Jinwoo befriends the demon noble Essel, who helps guide him to the final floor. On the final floor, Jinwoo fights Demon King Baran, who rides a massive white dragon. Jinwoo just barely manages to defeat Baran, gaining the ability to swap places with one of his shadow soldiers and also resurrecting the dragon as Kaisel. Meanwhile, the Korean Hunters Association partners with its Japanese counterpart to plan a 4th Jeju Island operation in order to counter the quickly evolving flying ants. Upon using the potion, Jinwoo's mother recovers and poignantly reunites with Jinwoo and Jinna, eventually moving back in with them. However, even as he celebrated this victory, Jinwoo received a request to join the impending Jeju Island raid. His decision was momentarily complicated by the arrival of Goto's guild, creating a conflict of interest. In an effort to convince him, Baek has him meet the combined force of S ranks. The Japanese and Korean S-rank hunters agree to train through a 4 versus 4 duel. The Japanese S-rank hunters win the duel, though Jinwoo is forced to step in to protect Hai-in. The guild master Goto Ryuji challenges Jinwoo to a duel, but it's called off partway when the duel escalates. Jinwoo again refuses the offer to join the operation, though he hides his soldiers in the hunters' shadows. The initial stages of the raid saw the hunters achieving some success against the Ant Queen and her forces. However, this brief moment of triumph was shattered by the emergence of a terrifying new threat, a powerful humanoid ant, later to be known as the Ant King. The episode took a tragic turn with the heartbreaking death of Min Byung-gu, the skilled healer, at the hands of the Ant King. The Korean S-rank hunters successfully kill the Ant Queen, but learn that she gave birth to a superpowered Ant King. The Ant King, displaying a chilling arrogance, appeared to struggle to find any human among the remaining S-rank hunters who could pose a worthy challenge to his immense strength. The Ant King incapacitate Hai-in and injuring several others, after which he kills Min Byung-gu, the healer. Goto confronts the Ant King as a horde of ants arrive to attack the hunters, but he is swiftly dealt with along with 6 other Japanese hunters. The episode concluded with the long-awaited arrival of Sung Jinwoo on Jeju Island, uttering his iconic phrase,
"고강."
Jinwoo uses his potions to heal the Korean hunters, though Hai-in is too gravely injured to be healed. Jinwoo's army holds off the ants before the Ant King arrives. Jinwoo faces off against him and proves to be stronger and faster than the creature, so the latter tries poison, to no avail as well. The Ant King proceeds to evolve, and it begins to push Jinwoo. However, Jinwoo lets loose and effortlessly beats the Ant King into submission. Realizing its inferiority, the Ant King fearfully attempts to run away, but Jinwoo chases it down and mutilates it. The Ant King summons the Ant Army, and Jinwoo responds with his own and slaughters the Ant King before hurrying back to Hai-in. He tries to use the elixir of life on her, but that does not work either. In desperation, Jinwoo turns to a voice calling out to him. The season finale depicts Jinwoo's desperate attempt to save the critically injured Hai-in after the elixir of life fails. He devises a plan, hinting at using his Shadow Monarch powers. The 4th Jeju Island raid concludes with victory, primarily due to Jinwoo's actions, though with significant losses. In a poignant turn, Min Byung-gu is resurrected as one of Jinwoo's shadow soldiers, and Jinwoo names the defeated Ant King's Shadow Baru, adding a powerful new soldier. Hae-in, witnessing Jinwoo's power, resolves to become stronger. Looking towards the future, Jinwoo formally presented his idea for creating a guild to go Gunhee and discussed the logistics with Jinho, laying the groundwork for the formation of the Ajin Guild. The episode ends with Jinwoo determined to face new challenges and gain more strength, indicating his journey continues and foreshadowing future storylines and character development.